Next, I'll demonstrate the hair. The hair includes a wig, hair strands, hair bun and Chignon, phoenix head ornament, the assembly and decoration of the hair. First, complete the crocheted sections, then make the head ornaments, and finally, assemble all parts of the hair and add decorations. Now, please watch as I demonstrate. First, let's crochet the wig. To make it easier to see, I will use a different color for this demonstration. The wig is crocheted in rounds. Start with a magic ring. Next, crochet the first round. Begin with 1 chain. The beginning chain does not count as a stitch. It needs to be tightened. In this round, you need to crochet 6 single crochets. After completing the single crochets, pull tight the starting tail of the yarn. This will close the ring. Then, insert into the first single crochet. Work 1 slip stitch. This forms the braid by the slip stitch. The slip stitch does not count as a stitch. Make sure to pull it tight to avoid adding extra stitches later. This completes the first round. Move on to the second round. Start with a chain. Then, work 1 SC2 in 1. Tighten the starting tail of the yarn. For each stitch, correspondingly make a SC2 in 1. The starting tail has been woven with a few stitches, so you can cut it off now. Then continue crocheting. After completing, slip stitch into the first stitch. Pull tight. This completes the second round. For rounds 3 through 18, the stitches have been demonstrated before. Just follow the chart to complete them. Pay attention not to adjust the positions for increasing or decreasing stitches. Follow the chart to crochet. When crocheting in rounds, start each round with a beginning chain, and finish each round with a slip stitch. As you can see, I have already reached round 18 here. Next, crochet round 19. Start with 1 chain. Work the corresponding single crochets evenly. After completing, work 3 half double crochets, yarn over, one, 2, 3. Then, work a double crochet, after completing, work another 3 half double crochets. Finally, work 3 single crochets. Join with a slip stitch to the first stitch. Pull tight. This completes round 19. The remaining rounds 20 and 21 are worked in the same way as this round. Complete them in the same method. Here is the wig looks like after finishing. Next, I'll demonstrate the hair strands. Don't cut the yarn, continue crocheting. Start with the corresponding chains. After completing, go back to the 4th stitch from the end. Pick up the top loop and work 13 double crochets. After completing, continue with 3 half double crochets. Finally, work 3 single crochets. At this point, all the stitches on the chain will be completed. Here, the K and SL in the chart are worked on the single crochets in the last round of the hair wig. Skip 1 stitch. Work 1 slip stitch into the next stitch. Slightly tighten the slip stitch. This completes 1 hair strand. According to the chart, you need to make 16 hair strands. Each hair strand should have the same stitch count. Follow this method to complete the remaining hair strands. As you can see, I have already finished. Finally, secure with 1 chain. Cut the yarn tail. Use a darning needle to weave in the yarn tail. Trim any excess yarn tails. That concludes the explanation of the hair strand. Next, we will cover the hair bun and the chignon. This is the hair bun, and this is the chignon. The stitches for these 2 parts are very simple. I have already prepared them in advance. I will use a different color of yarn for better visibility. This makes it easier for everyone to watch. Follow the chart to complete them. The chignon has more rounds. According to the chart, it totals 160 rounds. You can also adjust the number of rounds based on your actual needs. Feel free to increase or decrease the rounds as necessary. No stuffing is required. Once completed, set it aside for later use. Next, I will demonstrate the phoenix head ornament. It is divided into two parts: crocheted sections and decorations. The crocheted sections include the body, wings, and tail. First, complete the crocheted sections. Then assemble all parts and add decorations. Please watch as I demonstrate. The entire phoenix is crocheted using one strand of gold thread. The stitch for the body is simple. Working in rounds. At the beginning of each round, make a beginning chain. At the end, join with a slip stitch. The stitches have been demonstrated before. Follow the chart to complete it. Pay attention to adding shaping wire and stuffing during the process. I have prepared these materials in advance. Now, I will mainly demonstrate the wings and tail. Let's start with the wings. The wings are divided into left and right wings. The left and right refer to the phoenix zone. Left and right. Start with the left wing. Take a strand of gold thread. Chain 15. Go back to the second to last stitch. Pick up the top loop and crochet 10 single crochets. Then skip one stitch. Work one slip stitch. Slightly tighten the slip stitch. Next, continue with 9 chains. In the second to last stitch, crochet 8 single crochets. After completing, at the foundation chain, slip stitch into the remaining chain. Slightly tighten the slip stitch. Then continue with 7 chains. Start from the second to last stitch, crochet 6 single crochets. After completing, there will be one remaining chain from the foundation chain. At the top of this last chain, pick up the loop and crochet 1 slip stitch. After completing, secure with 1 chain. Stretch the loop. Leave about 20 centimeters of yarn tail and cut off. This completes the left wing. Set it aside for later use. Now, move on to the right wing. Start with a chain. First chain 7. Start from the second to last stitch, crochet 6 single crochets. After completing, continue with 9 more chains. Start from the second to last stitch, crochet 8 more single crochets. Then continue with 11 chains. Start from the second to last stitch again, crochet 10 single crochets. After completing, chain 1 here. Rotate the piece. Pick up strands, and crochet 3 single crochets. There's no specific requirement for insert position. Just choose any 3 stitches. Finally, secure with 1 chain. Similarly, leave about 20 centimeters of yarn tail, and break the yarn. That completes the demonstration for both sides of the wings. Next, I'll demonstrate the tail. The tail consists of 3 strands, and all need to be crocheted while wrapping thin wire. The crochet method is the same for all, but the stitch count varies slightly. Here, I'll demonstrate the first tail strand. Take a strand of gold yarn, and crochet the corresponding chains as listed in the chart. After completing, take out the thin wire from the kit, cut out about 15 centimeters. Yarn over. Go back to the 4th stitch from the end. Pick up 1 loop of the chain. At this point, pick up the thin wire. Slightly fold one end of the wire. Place the thin wire between the hook and the yarn. Make 1 double crochet. Continue crocheting 3 more double crochets while wrapping the thin wire. After completing, make 1 HDC 2-in-1. That is, work 2 half double crochets in the same stitch. Then continue with 6 more half double crochets. Pay attention to each stitch here. You need to wrap the thin wire while crocheting. When crocheting, make sure this end does not slip out. Finally, complete the remaining single crochets. After the last stitch is completed, secure it with one chain. Stretch the loop. Leave a tail of about 15 centimeters and cut the yarn. At this time, trim the thin wire as well. Leave about 0.5 centimeters at this end and cut it. Pinch the thin wire tightly. Adjust the shape of the tail. For the remaining tails 2 and 3, follow this method to wrap the thin wire and crochet them. Finally, I'll demonstrate the assembly and decoration of the phoenix head ornament. First, take out all the parts. Start with the wings. Thread the needle with the reserved long tail. Sew together the adjacent sections of the wings like this. Pay attention not to sew all the way to the top. Leave a small distance away from the tip. Then sew this side next. That's how you sew it together. Now, sew the wings onto the body. Be mindful of the left and right sides to avoid sewing them on backward. The long edge should be closer to the head. So it should be sewn like this. After the last stitch, thread the needle directly into the body. Then weave it back and forth like this to prevent the tail from coming loose. Next, hide this yarn tail inside the body. Cut the yarn. One side of the wing is now sewn. Sew the other side in the same way. Once sewn, attach it to the body as well. Aligning the long edge with the head. Try to maintain symmetry between both wings while sewing. Cut the yarn. Now both sides of the wings are sewn. Next, sew the tail. The longer one goes in the middle. The shortest one goes above. Tidy it up like this. Twist the 3 thin wires together. Cut off the excess. Slightly fold it in half a bit. You can use tweezers first. Enlarge the hole at the tail end a bit. Then insert the 3 thin wires of the tail into the body. Pick up one of the threads and thread the sewing needle. Sew the tail onto the body. Sew back and forth several times like this. Ensure the tail is securely sewn on. Finally, hide all the excess tails inside the body. Trim off the yarn tails. This completes the assembly of the phoenix. Now I will demonstrate the pendant for the phoenix mouth. The pattern for the number of beads, on both the left and right sides is identical. This section has 8 transparent seed beads on each side. The middle section has 9 transparent seed beads. Now, please watch me demonstrate. First, thread the beading needle with the sewing thread. Follow this pattern to thread the beads. Then add 1 transparent water drop bead. After threading, return the beading needle and pass it back through all the beads at once. This completes the threading. Finally, pass the thread through the hole in the triangular metal accessory. Remove the beading needle. Tie a double knot with the 2 threads. Remember to tie several knots to prevent slipping. Finally, hide the thread ends inside the beads. If the needle gets stuck while threading, you can use tweezers to help. Gently pull to tighten the thread. Then trim the excess thread. This completes threading 1 strand of beads. For the remaining 2 strands, follow the same method to thread them as well. Next, I'll demonstrate how to thread the beads on top. First, thread the beads according to this pattern. Note that the sizes of the white imitation pearls are different here. Start with the smaller ones and then the larger ones. After threading, Insert the beading needle into the hole at the top of the triangle. Then pass through all the beads on the thread again. Slightly tighten the thread. Remove the beading needle. Thread a sewing needle. Now, take the phoenix you just crocheted and sew the pendant onto the phoenix's mouth. Pass the needle back and forth several times like this, to ensure it is securely sewn. Finally, tie a knot with the 2 yarn tails. Use the sewing needle to weave in the ends and cut the yarn. After sewing. Next, take the golden ball pin from the kit to make the phoenix head crest. First, use pliers to cut the pin slightly shorter. Fold the tail end in half. And slightly bend it. Apply a small amount of glue. Use tweezers to poke a small hole in the head like this. And insert the ball pin into the hole. After inserting, bend it to create an arc. Finally, on the 3 tails, attach a red flat back crystal to each of them. This concludes the demonstration of the phoenix head ornament. Set it aside for later use. Next, I'll demonstrate the method to assemble the hair. First, take out the body head. Apply glue to the wrong side of the wig. Attach the wig to the head. Pay attention while attaching. Ensure the right sides of the ears face forward as the face, and don't attach it backward. On the side of the wig with the double crochets, position it about 7 to 8 rounds away from the neck opening. Check if the width of the wig around both ears is symmetrical. Insert 2 pins to secure it while waiting for the glue to dry completely. Next, use pins to tidy up and fix the hair strands. After securing it, take out the hair bun that was crocheted earlier. Press it flat and apply glue to one side. Press it down over the hair strands, and attach it securely. When applying the glue, pay attention to the curve of the forehead. Follow this line. And make sure the width on both sides remains symmetrical. Insert pins to secure it, and wait for the glue to dry completely. At this point, remove the pins from the hair strands. Apply glue to this side of the hair bun. Start from the middle hair strand and flip it up like this. Be mindful not to pull too tight when flipping. Keep it slightly loose for a fuller look. You can pinch the hair bun slightly like this. Leave the strand near the ear unglued for now. After flipping, turn to the back of the head. Apply glue along this gap. Weave the end of the hair strand inward like this. Adjust the curve of the hair slightly. Make sure the hair looks round and full. For the sideburns on both sides, apply a small amount of glue around the ears. Dab a little downwards. Then apply glue on the wrong side. Turn the piece over. Apply glue on the back side. Roll the hair strand and glue it like this. This way, the hair strand is securely attached. Next, we'll style the bun at the back. Start from the right side of the head. That is, this side. Pin it with a pin to secure it like this. Pay attention everyone. Place this slip stitch thread on the inside. Rotate to form a circle. Let's take a look at the right side. It should be about this size. Insert another pin to secure it. Continue rotating. Form the second circle. The second circle is almost the same size as the first one. Insert another pin to secure it. Then move on to the third circle. The third circle should be slightly smaller than the previous two. Take a look, everyone. And again, secure it with a pin. For the remaining hair, fold it back and forth like this. As you can see, the bun is now styled. Next, use some glue. Glue the bun to the hair, following the points where the pins are inserted. Adjust the shape of the bun. And that's how to style the bun. Next, wait for the glue to dry completely. Once it's dry, remove all the pins. Now, take out the phoenix head ornament we just made. Apply glue to the bottom of the phoenix body. Attach it to the hair. Position the body on the left side of the first circle. Right here. Insert pins to secure it. Then adjust the position of the tail. Up to this point, the assembly of the hair is complete. Next, I'll demonstrate the decorations. This part is relatively simple. Let's take a look at the finished product. Allow me to explain. First, glue the white flat patches onto the 3 bun loops. Pay attention to the pattern. Specifically on the 2nd and 3rd loops. There are 2 large ones and 1 small one. On the leftmost loop, there are 3 large and 2 small ones. Just secure them with glue. Now, look at the left side of the doll. Follow this pattern. To attach the osmanthus accessories securely. After they are glued, place the smallest yellow will beads in the middle of each osmanthus flower. Once all are attached, wait for the glue to dry completely. Take out the black lace thread and split it into 2 strands. Use a sewing needle to stitch the leaves following this pattern. The sewing method is quite simple, so I won't demonstrate each step. After sewing, take out the white pom-poms from the kit and glue them onto the hair bun. Now, look at the right side of the doll. There are 5 small purple flowers on the right side. Here, I'll demonstrate this small purple flower separately. Take out the purple gossamer ribbon from the kit. Cut a piece about 10 centimeters long. Thread the sewing needle. Tie a knot. Stitch back and forth along one edge of the ribbon, like this. I stitched approximately 14 times here. Pull the thread tight. Rotate the flower slightly. Then pass the needle through all the pleats from the back in one go. Thread a white fox pearl to serve as the flower center. Finally, tie a knot on the back to secure it. Break the yarn. Trim off any excess gossamer ribbon. That's how you complete one small flower. Everyone should make 5 such small flowers in total. Follow this pattern. Glue them onto the hair. Up to this point, the making method for the hair section has been fully explained. Finally, I will demonstrate the facial features. The facial features include the nose, the eyes, the eyebrows, and the lips. Please watch as I demonstrate. First, take a strand of skin-colored lace yarn about 20 centimeters long. From the middle, remove 2 strands. Like this. Wrap it around your hand. Continue wrapping for a total of 5 times. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Grab the yarn tails on both sides and gently pull tight. You can rub it back and forth like this. Rub and pull at the same time. This completes the nose. Next, take out the head. Determine the position for the nose. Count 12 rounds upwards from the neck. This is also 2 rows below the ears. At the center of the face. Insert a pin to mark the position. Now you can count the stitches on both sides from the ears down to the pin's position to check if they are identical. Ensure the nose is centered on the face. Thread the sewing needle with the 2 yarn ends of the nose. Remove the pin. Insert the needle through the hole where the pin was. give a gentle tug on the thread. Be mindful not to tighten it just yet. At this point, apply a small amount of glue to the nose. Gently pull to tighten the yarn tails. Adjust the direction of the nose as needed. After adjusting, trim any excess yarn tails. And that's how you finish the nose. Next, let's make the eyes. First, determine the position. On the third round above the nose, 1, 2, 3. Leave an interval of 4 stitches between the 2 eyes. Note that you will insert the needle into the X-stitch single crochets. Do the same on the other side. Insert a pin to mark the spot. These 2 points are where the inner corners of the eyes will be. Take a piece of black lace yarn. For convenience in watching, I will use a different color as a substitute. Thread through the darning needle. Insert the needle from the right pin location. Pay attention that the insertion point should be in the X-stitch single crochet. Then pull out the needle from the left pin position. Also, make sure to stitch out from the X-stitch single crochet. Pull the thread out. Remove the darning needle. Take one end and cut it diagonally like this. Leave about 1 centimeter length of the yarn tail. You can use the darning needle to dip a small amount of glue here. Apply it to the yarn tail like this. Mindful not to apply too much glue. Use tweezers to adjust the shape of the eyes. Start by shaping the inner corners of the eyes. Then shape the curve of the eyes. Use tweezers to separate the area right below the eyes, to create wider eyes. Use tweezers to separate the yarn tails at the corner positions. Take a small amount of glue. Shape the pointed end of the corner and the eyelashes. The eyes should be about 5 single crochets wide. During the process, make sure to apply glue sparingly using the darning needle. Complete the other side in the same way. Now you can see both eyes are completed. Next, let's make the eyebrows. The eyebrows are positioned on the third round above the eyes. There should be an interval of 6 single crochets in the middle. That is, these 2 spots. Take a piece of the corresponding color yarn, thread it through the darning needle. Insert the needle on both sides of the pin. Trim the ends of the eyebrows diagonally with scissors. Note that the eyebrows should be slightly longer than the eyes. Compare the positions. Use the darning needle to apply a small amount of glue and attach the eyebrows. Adjust the shape of the eyebrows with tweezers. Do the same for the other side. That's how you make the eyebrows. Next, take the red flat bead from the kit. Apply some glue to it. Stick it right in the center between the eyebrows. Finally, I'll demonstrate how to make the lips. First, take a piece of red lace yarn. Remove 2 strands. Wrap the remaining yarn around your finger in circles like this. Wrap it 5 times. Gently pull to tighten the thread. As you pull, gently roll it into a long strip. Don't make it too tight. This will be the lower lip. Set it aside for now. Next, take another piece of red lace yarn. Remove 3 strands. Wrap the yarn 7 times like this. Gently pull to tighten. This will be the upper lip. Pick up the head. Position the lips 2 rounds below the nose. Right here. Start by gluing on the lower lip. Apply a small amount of glue. Place it directly below the nose. Use tweezers to adjust the angle of the lips. Make the corners of the mouth turn upwards. Thread the yarn tails on both sides with a darning needle, and hide them inside the head. The insertion point is at the edge of the mouth corner. Gently pull to tighten. Do the same for the other side. This way, the lower lip is securely glued. Next, apply a small amount of glue on the upper lip. Attach it directly above the lower lip. Use tweezers to press and shape the lip petals. Gently press in the middle position. After it is glued, thread the yarn tail with a darning needle and weave it. Pay attention, the insertion point for weaving should be slightly outward to form the corner of the mouth. Do the same for the other side. Finally, use tweezers to slightly adjust the shape of the mouth. Cut off any excess tails. After completing, take out the blush. Apply a small amount of blush to the cheek position. You can also lightly apply some to the eyes and forehead. If you have eyebrow powder or brown eyeshadow at home, you can also apply a little bit at the outer corners of the eyes. Up to this point, we have covered the facial features. Next, I will show you how to make the remaining decorations. Let's start with the necklace. The bead stringing technique for the necklace is quite simple. Using beading needles and sewing thread, follow this pattern to thread the seed beads. There are 24 transparent seed beads threaded between these two red seed beads. You can use this as a reference. After threading, tie off at the end. The method is quite simple, so I will not repeat the demonstration. Next, I will demonstrate the method for making the earrings. Start by threading a small flower. Then add a red seed bead as the flower center. And then thread back through the small flower motif. Once threaded, follow this pattern to thread the seed beads. Then thread a small white flower. At this point, use the bead needle to thread back through all the beads on the line. This way, all the beads are now threaded. Switch to a sewing needle. Sew the earring onto the ear like this. You can go through one more time for security. Finally, tie off to secure it. Trim the yarn tails. Complete the other side of the earrings using the same method. Finally, apply some glue. Glue a red seed bead to serve as the flower core. Finally, take out the light purple tool from the kit. Cut it to be about 120 centimeters long. Wrap it around the arm. It will serve as a shawl. Up to this point, the making method for this doll is fully explained. If you have any questions during the process, don't hesitate to reach us via our customer service. Susan's family, supporting your handwork experience, sharing the joy of life. Thank you all for watching. See you in the next episode.